This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 36 of the Take One podcast. As always, I am your host, Michael Bish, and I'm super excited for today's episode because we are kicking off the road to Scream 6, which is crazy. It's like literally a month away. It's crazy how fast time flies, and we are obviously kicking it off with none other than the 1996 classic, the film that started it all, Scream. And I couldn't review this film without some help, and I got some two very special guests, Jess, aka Final Girl Jess, and my man Kevin. What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm gonna need some more energy. How are y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, Jess,
wait.
you said you were
Jess,
going to bring it, Jess.
Wait.
Jess, hold on, Jess. You have no excuse. It's like what 3 hours earlier over there, so you should be like, you should have all
Hold
that
on.
energy still.
Okay. You guys are ganging up on me. Watch. Okay. You guys already starting.
All right, everybody. Kev, Jess. First, starting with you. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here again. I know you said you had two special guests, but I only see one.
Oh. Here we go.
Okay. Already. I like it.
Kev, how you doing, man?
I'm great, man. It's good to be back and talking about this movie that we all love so much. And I'm just happy to be here, dude. So appreciate you having me on.
So it's only, man, I don't know about you, Kev. I know your podcasts are like a little farther apart from each other. It's only been 2 weeks, but I feel like I haven't recorded in fucking forever, dude. I feel like it's been so long.
I feel you, dude. We actually recorded today, believe it or not. Usually we go like 2-3 months without pressing record on the old podcast button, but we hopped on and talked about a movie that you gave a low rating on recently called Skinamarink, and we may have called you out on this review, Mike. So just tune in this upcoming Thursday. I think it's dropping. But I feel you on like the long gaps in podcasts. It feels very long sometimes.
Well, I can't wait to listen. Can't wait to receive all the hate for that.
Thanks, man. Of course.
I kind of knew it was coming. Actually, I didn't know 100% if it was coming because I didn't know where Burke stood on the movie.
Yeah.
So I guess now I know. Jess, did you watch the movie? And
I did.
How did you feel about it? Let me get you loved it.
I mean, I'm on the fence with it. I didn't like, oh my gosh, love it. But I mean, I appreciate for what it was, the art aspect to it. I don't know. It just made me feel like creeped out. I don't know.
And I have to be honest with you. Like, I didn't want to go into it giving it a low rating. Like, I wish I walked away with the feeling that Kevin got from it, and like, because I can feel like I see people gushing over it, and I'm not. I'm kind of jealous in a sense. I wish it hit with me a little differently. Maybe if I took Kevin's advice and like watched it on my laptop with some headphones in the complete dark, maybe it would hit a little different. I might give it another rewatch. But God, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was a tough watch.
Well, I was gonna ask you what was it specifically that you were just like, bro, I'm being nice by just giving it 1 star. Was it too slow and too abstract? You think?
Probably a little. Yeah, I would have to say so. I'm okay with certain slow burns, but I just felt like in this one it was just like, I don't know. It's just like it was the entire thing was a slow burn, and nothing really hit with me. There was a couple creepy scenes. But
I feel you.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard for me not like I wanted to turn the movie off. I did.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
No,
I'm not
a lot of
trying to
people.
shit on it,
A lot of people feel like that. I think it's a very divisive piece of art, and for me, I won't get into it too much because obviously, I get into it a lot with our episode. But for me, like, there's a couple themes and metaphors that really resonated with me that took me back to childhood, and that was something that I wasn't expecting, and so I think that's why it resonated with me so much.
Yeah.
Well, good. I definitely can't wait to check that out. Glad y'all didn't wait 900 years to get back on the podcast because it's great content. It's great
Thank you.
content that I look forward to.
Thank you.
And Jess, you had an eventful weekend. You went
Yeah.
to what was it? Some type of con?
CreepyCon. It was in
CreepyCon.
Ontario. Yeah, Ontario, California.
So how was that? Who'd you meet?
It was
Lucky.
cool. I specifically went to go see Art the Clown. It was
They're so
amazing.
great.
I'm all talk. I was like, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna be like, "What's up, Gore Daddy?" and like say all these things. And when I get up there, he's like looking at me. I'm like, "Hi, nice to
Mhm.
meet you."
That's how it goes. That is how it. No matter how much you rehearse
And
what you're gonna say, it's
yeah,
always like,
I had
yep.
everything rehearsed in my head, and I got up there and I froze, and I was like, he was like waiting for me to say something. I was like, "Nice to finally meet you." That was all. That
I
was
was
it, and I was like, "Yeah."
Well, that's
I,
better than what Mike and I did with Nev
oh
Campbell.
god.
At least you got
I,
some words
yeah.
out.
I was gonna say like I've always been pretty good at like not like fanboying or fangirl, whatever the word
Mm.
is for it, like except for Nev Campbell. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
was
Oh yeah.
one that like I just lost words for. And then when I met Billy Bobby Brown, I didn't know what to say. Those were probably the two. Obviously
Yeah.
because Millie's pretty big right now, and then Nev. I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
I was shaking going up there. I was like,
Yeah.
when I handed her the photo, I was like, I hope she doesn't see
Like
how bad I'm
shaking.
shaking. Yeah, like I wanted to throw the picture down really quick, but I didn't want her to think I'm throwing the picture at her. So I was like, but I don't want to see her let her see that I'm shaking. Like
Just
she's a
like
Yeah,
nice,
throw it down, and run away, and then circle back and come grab it and then leave.
that's
yeah. Like
funny.
like she asked me what I wanted her to write, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
She's the best,
um,
man. She's so nice.
so
I haven't met her yet.
how was Art the Clown? Did you get
He
an
was
autograph or
cool.
just a picture? Or?
I did autograph and a picture. It was just like so surreal meeting him. Like, I mean, I wish I
Mhm.
would have met him in costume, but even just meeting him, his energy is just so
Yeah.
fun, and he's just so interactive with like his, just like everybody there, all his fans. So it was cool. It was cool to see. And I'm a big fan of Terrifier too, so
Yeah.
it just all the gore.
How was are you somebody that likes to like walk around the convention and look at stuff and or you just like to go and meet whoever and kind of bounce out?
Um, I think because I've been to so many, I'm just going there to meet who I want to
Yeah.
meet.
It's pretty
I
much
saw,
all the same.
yeah, I saw Skeet Ulrich,
I saw that.
Matthew
Yeah,
Lillard was there. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
your video was funny that you put on the story.
yeah, yeah, that was cool. That was cool to see.
So
But
was
yeah,
David Howard Thornton the only one you actually met? Like that was your plan to get in and get out with
yes,
him?
yes, that was
Nice.
my
Mhm.
plan. I wanted to get in, get out. And it was Sunday, and I showed up probably like an hour or two before it was ending. So
Wow,
the
that's
lines,
ballsy.
I just walked straight in. And his line was like coming to an end, so I got there just like I didn't have to wait too long. So it was
That's
cool.
perfect. That's
Mhm.
perfect. See,
Yeah,
me, I'm somebody who would overthink that. Like, bro, I got to be there 9 hours before opening. Like,
yeah,
I gotta make sure I get
Oh
a
yeah,
picture
I'm the
to be able
same
to meet
way.
him. Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody from that movie is so like so nice and really really like takes the time to talk to you. Because I went down to Atlanta to Days of the Dead con, I think, oh man, 2 weekends ago now, and most of the cast was there, and the Halloween costume shop owner that gets killed, I think his name's Jonathan Davis. He was there, and I just met I think Malcolm McDowell, and I'm rolling up my poster, and he goes, "What poster is that?" And he like just sparked a conversation with me, and he was so nice. So like everybody from that movie is just
Yeah.
so nice. It makes me love it that much more.
No, I definitely get that. They're coming to a convention like three hours away from me, and I really want to go
Yeah,
because
man.
I want to meet Lauren Lavera so bad.
Mm,
Me too.
So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it. It'd be a day trip for me. Like I can make it happen. But it's well worth it. I feel
hmm
like who knows how big she's gonna blow up. Um,
Hmm.
I just it's hard to get like people that are really big now to like come to conventions. Like if I didn't meet Millie Bobby Brown when I did, like she was scheduled for all these conventions, and then like after season 4, it was all like she was just canceled. Like
Yeah.
Like not it's just so it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's just hard to meet like super big people. But I did see I didn't like actually I wasn't able to like read up on it, and I probably should have, but I saw that the director said that he wanted to do 2 more installments for Terrifier. Is that correct? Anybody read that?
I did.
I
Yeah.
I heard him talking about it. He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was like, it's coming, it's coming.
I heard he wants
Yeah.
to do 2 more installments, and he's also in talks with Sam Raimi to do something with him, which is really awesome. That guy deserves it, man. He writes the movie, he directs the movie, and he does effects. That is insane, man.
That's crazy.
He does such a great job, and he's always like all smiles. It's crazy to have that energy and talent.
So, what is everybody? What's some recent watches everybody has been watching or seeing? Like, I counted my list today. I think I got a movie every single day for the month of January. Like, I think I've seen like 29 movies this month.
Yeah,
or watched 29 movies. But what have y'all been watching recently?
Go ahead.
I've been watching The Last of Us on HBO. Pedro.
I cannot get that video out of my head.
I'm thinking about it right now. Sorry about that. I don't know. I love the whole show. It's just amazing. The acting, the whole cinematography. It's just the emotions. It's amazing. I can't get enough of it.
Are y'all, Kevin? I know you were watching it. Are you still watching it? And are both of y'all caught up on it?
I didn't watch the one last night, but yesterday I was editing some stuff, and I just turned it on just to have something on, and then I got sucked back into it. And I thought episode 3, like you heard the hype with episode 3 with how emotional it was, and dude, I did not expect it. That was so well
crazy,
done.
right?
Nick Offerman, dude. Oh man, what a performance. I love him.
So
and
good.
it was so interesting to see him play that character when you're so used to seeing like this testosterone carnivore in Parks and Rec, but like he crushed it, dude. And so I've been watching The Last of Us. I'm kind of hooked on it now. Other than that, I rewatched Skinamarink just to kind of get a more grasp on how I felt about it. And then I recently watched Scream 3 for the 23rd anniversary, which was amazing. Love Scream 3.
Yeah, I love Scream 3 too. I think it's a movie that is definitely hated on for absolutely no goddamn reason.
It is.
It really pisses me off.
That pisses me off.
It pisses me right off. When I saw you watching, I was like, you know what? I ain't doing shit. I'm gonna watch it too.
It's such a fun watch, dude. Like I think, we'll get into it when we talk about Scream 3 a little bit down the road. But I just think it's so much fun and it's so rewatchable, and it's actually really well written. And so it's my second favorite. Spoiler.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. I can't wait to hear your ranking, Jess. And
Me too.
To see what you think of 2 movies I really want to know how you feel about them is Scream 4 and the one that dropped last year. So we'll talk about that. So I went and saw Knock at the Cabin. I thought it was
on my watch list.
I thought it was a pretty good watch. I don't know if it's one of those movies that I would go back and rewatch again. I don't think the rewatch value is there.
Yeah.
But man, I thought it was pretty intriguing. I think it's a movie that's definitely different, and it builds tension really well in the movie as well. It jumps right into it. Like, I mean, I know y'all kind of know the basis of what it's around. I mean, as soon as the movie opens, they're at the cabin. Like, you know, they show up immediately, so they waste no time getting into it. I wish they showed a couple more kills on screen. And that's kind of all I'll say. I don't want to ruin anything.
Because isn't it rated R?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I would say probably because it does show some gore. But there's a couple of kills that it kind of reminded me of Megan a little bit, where it kind of cut away. So that was kind of annoying. But how do y'all feel about the director in general in his movies?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Jet. I love M. Night Shyamalan. I'm a big fan of his. I don't think all of his movies are good. I don't think they all work. I think he's definitely a director that swings for the fences. And when he makes contact, he just knocks out of the park. Like Signs is one of my favorite movies of all time. The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable. I'm a big fan of The Village. I think that's very underrated and also overhated. I think he's very talented, but then he goes and makes something like The Happening. What? no,
Yeah.
or like Avatar or Lady in the Water. And so, you know, but I still love him, man. I still look forward to his movies because I'm like, it could be a home run. And so this one didn't really intrigue me, although I'm a big Dave Bautista fan. I think he's very talented.
First off, hell of a performance by him.
I love Dave Bautista.
I think I thought that he was good in Glass Onion, but like, dude,
Yeah.
he was phenomenal in this movie. I think it's one of his best, if not his best performance that he's
Yeah.
ever been in. Like, it's so good. He's so good in it. He's like a menace, violent and gentle, all in one. Like, it's such a good performance. He was the obvious standout in this movie.
Yep.
The acting overall was really, really good. So I definitely suggest y'all go watch it. I definitely think it's one of his best movies in a
Awesome.
long time.
Is it streaming right now?
No, it's
Anywhere?
just in
Was it
theaters. Yeah. So
I gotta go see that.
yeah, it was a good watch. I mean, there's not a lot in theaters out anyways. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep waiting for my movie to come out. It's supposed to. They
I
went.
saw
They
that.
they went public with the release date. They're like February 9th. I even messaged the account. They were like 2/9, and they had specific dates and places. And one of them is Charlotte. And I go to the website and it's not there. And I keep checking every day to check for show times. So I'm starting to get like a little crazy about it because I really want to see this movie so bad.
Well, I hope you get to see it. I hope it comes down
Me
to
too.
you. I know that was one you were definitely looking forward to. But I think we go ahead and we jump into Scream. I know there's going to be a lot to talk about
Hmm.
and a lot to discuss. But before we do that, Scream 6. I kind of want to get some feelings. Kevin, I kind of know a little bit how you're feeling, but we're going to jump into that a little bit again. Jess, I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you at all. How did you feel about the trailer that dropped, and how are you feeling about Scream 6 in general? Are you looking forward to it? Are you nervous? How you feeling?
I am feeling good about it. I feel like they took a lot of like all the backlash kind of from the last Scream and kind of made perhaps I'm hoping they made up for it. So I'm looking forward to it. The trailers alone are pretty good, but then I'm just hoping they're not throwing everything again in the trailer, and then that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see all the
Yeah, me
blood.
too. Kev, how are you? How are you feeling about it again? Have you had some time to sit with it, like since the last time we talked?
I mean,
Because I don't know about you, but I've seen the trailer. Now they're starting to release. We're getting into those times. Like I was on YouTube, they're starting to release
yeah,
new
more.
footage for these TV
Yeah.
spots. I'm not watching them.
I'm not either.
I'm not watching any of the TV spots. Although I really want to see some of the new footage, I gotta hold off because I just don't want to. I think we got enough in the trailer. But how are you
Yeah.
feeling, Kev? Overall?
Well, I think the movie is over 2 hours long, which is crazy.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be the
that
longest in the franchise.
that intrigues me, and I hope that the story is really good. My biggest issue, like I'm always gonna be excited for a Scream movie, like always, man. I'm gonna be there opening night, even though if I hate the previous film, which I do, I'm gonna be there opening night. Like it's Ghostface, it's Scream, it's my favorite franchise. I'm gonna be there. But my biggest problem with, or my biggest concern is the cast. I just don't like anybody. I don't like any of the new members in the cast. Even though Jenna Ortega is like a good actress, I think Jasmine Savoy Brown brings a lot of charisma and likability. I just don't care. It's kind of like the same issues I have with the Scream forecast. I just can't find the depth with them, and it doesn't make me care for what happens to them. And so that's my biggest issue. Like this movie could be balls to the wall, gory, action heavy, intense, crazy. And
Kevin.
I'm still just not gonna I'm still just not gonna
Kevin's
get
a grumpy
into it.
old man.
Into
Kevin's
it
a
as
grumpy old man.
listen, let me finish. No, I'm just kidding. It's just the cast. It's really just the cast that has me worried. And also the directors. I think they personally they really let me down in Scream 5. And so got a lot of making up to do in Scream 6.
Yes, so we can go ahead and talk about Scream 5. But I do want to touch on this. And I said it in I think on the watch along. I remember when Scream 5 came out and they said that, man, it's super gory. Ghostface is super dark. Like it feels different. And like not just one or two people were saying this. Like people that like collide. Like horror movies just don't get good reviews, and Scream 5 got really, really great reviews. And I was
really
like,
did.
oh man, like I cannot fucking wait. And then I'll be honest with you, I walked out and I was like, I didn't connect with anybody from the cast. I wish Jenna Ortega, she had a bigger part in it, which hopefully it looks like in Scream 6 she will. So that's exciting and something I'm looking forward to. But like she was the only one that really I was interested in outside of the legacy characters. And then we know how Dewey went out, and that's a whole nother conversation. And you know, so again, I'm with you. I didn't really connect with the cast in the last movie, but I remember everybody saying that, you know, this Ghostface was so much darker, the kills were crazier, more gorier, and I walked out the movie and I felt like they were the same, if not a little weaker in my opinion. But I have to be honest, I walked away from the Scream 6 trailer and I felt the tone of Ghostface like amped up. Like it that feels darker. This Ghostface feels darker when he takes the shotgun from somebody and blasts them in the fucking head. Like it just feels darker, and it's so cliche to say because I feel like we hear it in almost every Scream that you've never seen a Ghostface like this. This is probably the first movie in a long time I actually feel that way. Obviously, it's just the previews, but that's kind of what's intriguing me the most about this new film. Like, I really do hope we get a new Ghostface, and if I could have it my way, I hope they do something totally different. And I honestly hope they don't reveal who Ghostface is at the end of this. I hope he gets away.
Wouldn't that be cool
and
if
we
one
have
of
to
them
wait.
got away? I would. There's
It
a
would
lot
be
of talk
different,
about
right?
that. It would be
It would be
different.
different.
But you're right. I think this movie feels like there's more life to it. There's an energy to it, to where 5 to me just felt so dull. Like it was so lifeless in so many ways. And I think, to Jess's point, I think the directors and the writers did listen to the backlash, and they were like, you know what, you're right. Let's really crank this up now. Let's really put our stamp on it. So I'm optimistic, but I'm also very guarded because I'm a grumpy old man, and so they got to prove me wrong.
Jess, what are you looking forward to most in Scream 6? Like, what excites you the most?
I'm a big fan of gore. Like in a horror movie, I just want like give it like cross the line, give me all the blood, like
Yeah.
kill who you need to kill. I just want to see more like that dark just energy and vibe from Ghostface come through, because I felt like the last Scream, it was just, again, like you guys are saying, it's just bland. It felt too meta. And I don't know, just the whole Dewey thing is like, really? It should have been Gail.
No, I agree. I am probably in the minority to where I say I liked the way he went out as far as like that kill. But like when you sit back and you think about like what
I'm like,
one, what did he die for? Like
Nothing.
he just
yeah.
died being an idiot going back into the hospital, which Kevin has touched on this. Dewey's not the brightest person in the world. I mean, he stumbles just as much as Ghostface does in every single movie. So yes, he's quirky but that's just not the way I want Dewey to go out. Personally, again, I like the double-sided knife. Like that is a hell of a kill. But then you think about who did it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, hold on.
No, not doing any like judging, and maybe she hit the weight room. You know what I mean? And when she had to train, but I'm just like, I don't know if that's
she's not missing
possible,
leg day.
But yeah, you're right, because that upper body strength was crazy. But yeah, so I definitely didn't like 5. Jess, it doesn't sound like you like 5 either.
I mean, we'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
I mean, I'll wait till the end. Are we telling our list right now? I don't know. I just like we could argue at the end. We can argue at the end.
That's fine with me. All right,
I'm here for it.
Let's go ahead and jump into it. We're jumping into obviously the movie that kicked it all off, the 1996 film Scream, directed by Wes Craven. Kevin has it playing in the background. He is playing one of the most, and I'm tipping my hand, but I don't think it's any secret that it, based off the topics and stuff that we're going to be discussing, he is playing one of, if not the best opening to a movie Kevin got me last time. Not just a horror movie, a movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I want to jump into Jess. I'll come to you first. Do you remember the first time you saw Scream and what you love about it at first? Kind of just talk about that.
I believe I was like 7 years old, and just in general, this movie is just the gateway movie. Like it's just a gateway movie for I know for a lot of people, but it just brought me into the horror genre. Um, I love that it's just that horror with a pinch of comedy, but it's not overdone. It's just so iconic, and it's one of my favorite movies, just like ever. And it's just so cozy. It's a year-round film, and it just never gets old.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. It's one of those movies. I mean, horror movies in general for me, but definitely I feel like this is at the top of the list as far as you can pop it in and watch it at any time. Like,
Definitely.
Like it's a movie that I can. It's a comfort movie for me. Like you said, Jess, it's just one of those movies. It reminds me a little bit, Kevin, of H2O. Like it's one of those movies where I can just watch anytime,
It's just so cozy.
anywhere.
It's just a
Yes,
cozy
it's
blanket,
perfect.
man. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's an easy watch. It's not too long. It's not too short. Like, man, we're gonna jump into the likes and stuff, but this is a damn near, if not perfect, movie. So I probably should have just deleted the dislikes off of the
I know.
list I sent
It's
y'all
tough, dude.
Should have.
Yeah.
But Kev, what about you? When did you first see it? How did you feel about it? And kind of talk about that.
Yeah, man. So I saw this when I was 7 or 8 years old, and first ever horror movie, and it scared the shit out of me. But also, I couldn't look away. I was nauseous seeing Drew Barrymore get gutted, her boyfriend get gutted, and like that opening, like you said, is one of the greatest. To me, it is the greatest movie opening ever. And I'm gonna tip my hand a little bit. I think the finale is the greatest finale ever. Um, this movie is so well written, cast, directed. It has so many elements and layers to it, and it's like you said, it's cozy, very nostalgic for me. Obviously, being my first horror movie, but it's just a movie I can put on all the time, and it never gets old. And so it's lightning in a bottle. It's a important piece of cinema, not only for horror but also just for film in general. And it paved the way for so many other slasher horror movies because of how monumental this was for the horror genre. And it's just perfect, man. It's my favorite movie ever.
I love that, man. I love that it's your favorite movie, and deservingly so. I mean, to everything that you two both said, I don't think I can say anymore. It's a perfect film. It's one of my favorite of all times. Again, the best opening scene to a movie ever. And good point, Kevin. One of the best finales ever. It's written so well. Kevin Williamson did a phenomenal job with this. Wes Craven behind the camera did absolutely phenomenal as well. And listen, I love the direction that they went into. It was a slasher, but it was totally different. It totally set the tone from a different tone from Halloween and Friday the 13th and those types of movies, and obviously Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street had a little bit more comedy in it, so you can kind of float it that way. But again, just totally different in its own right. And again, I saw it when I was super young, probably around the same age as you.
So cool.
So yeah, I mean that nostalgic factor is totally there, and I remember the first horror movie that I saw was Stephen King's It, and that is just that first horror movie you ever see is just like always going to be on a pedestal.
Absolutely.
Like, oh man, and the fact that this movie still holds up to this day, I think says a lot about everybody involved in the film. I don't think there's any bad acting in it. I like everything about this movie, man.
Same.
Man, I was watching. Like I said, I was watching Scream 3 the other day, and when I saw Randy pop up on the TV screen when he made the video, I was
so
like,
good.
Man,
I miss Randy, man.
I know, me too.
You know what I also really love about this movie? This movie feels like it just takes me back to whenever I was a kid going down the horror section at the movie store. It feels like I'm going down the horror section aisle. There's so many badass movies, and you got like your food and your candy, and you're just about to have a really fun Friday night. That's what Scream feels
Mm-hmm.
like to me,
Yeah.
because they weave in so many horror aspects and movies and elements to the story. Like, you start out with the horror movie trivia, and then Billy comes through the bedroom. The Exorcist was on. And then you got the movie rental store scene, and you got the party that they're watching, Halloween, and the quote, "We all go a little mad sometimes." So there's so many quotes and
So many good quotes.
movie titles and scenes and imagery that's woven throughout the film. And that just feels so cozy and warm. It's just so nostalgic feeling. I love that about this movie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've always liked how the Halloween franchise and the Scream franchise have always paid tribute to each other. Like in Halloween, in H2O, drive down
Yeah.
to the Becker's house. So all those cool little nods are super sweet, and the fact that Halloween was playing in the background of this movie. I mean, you can't get any better
Oh
than
my
that.
God,
Like,
man.
Yeah.
that
Great.
is absolutely perfect. And again, going to a party and drinking beer, kicking back, watching Halloween. I mean, come on, what
That's
better
all.
party can you go
That's
to?
all I want to do for the rest of my life, man. That's it.
Exactly, exactly. As long as you know the rules, because there's
Randy's
certain
rules.
You don't
Yep.
know
rules.
the rules. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good, dude. This is very random, but I was thinking about this the other day. Um, there's one more movie that is playing Halloween in the background. Does anybody know what that movie is?
Hmm. Can you give us the decade?
80s, 1980s.
80s.
Not a horror movie.
Oh, well, Halloween 3 is playing the original Halloween in the background at one
Ugh.
point, but it's not that. Uh, Shit,
It's a
man.
good
I
one.
don't. I don't know. Can I get a
You
hint?
said 80s? Yeah.
I said 80s, no horror. What else you want?
Oh man, give me an actor.
I'll give you a hint. The Karate Kid. But it's not the Karate Kid movie.
I don't know anybody from that movie. I don't know.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad.
Never seen it.
Okay. Well,
Do you know,
yeah.
Jess?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. No, I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know 80s trivia. I'm sorry.
Anytime. I mean, are y'all good? Y'all.
Yeah,
I
we'll
feel like
tell
I'm
us.
gonna know it once you say it.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know if you will
dog.
or not. Um, Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, they played that in the movie?
Yeah, so
Oh,
when she first comes over, turn your sound up. When she first comes over and the mom and dad leave and
Yeah.
they're downstairs in the living room,
Dang.
like the scene where Lori is screaming and she falls down the steps, it's playing. Like turn it up. It's so
I
cool.
never,
I'm gonna have
dude.
to
I've
send
never
it to
noticed
you.
that. Well, when you
yeah.
said Karate Kid, I thought of Ralph Macchio, and I was like, nah. I was
Yeah.
like Elizabeth Shue. I was like Adventures in Babysitting. It's not
I
that.
don't think I've
Damn
seen
it!
that
It was.
movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna have to send
great.
it to you. It was so cool, and I was like, and when I saw that or I heard, I didn't trust me. I didn't notice it either. I saw it on like some website or something. I'm like, why the fuck would they do that?
Yeah.
But Deborah Hill is a producer on Adventures in
Oh,
Babysitting, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dobra Hill. Sorry, Dobra Hill.
Dobra.
Dobra Hill.
Oh.
So we've obviously I kind of want to dive deeper into we kind of gave our overall view of when we saw the movie,
Mhm.
but I guess talking about what we really liked about the movie, if Kev, if you want to kind of start off, what
Mhm.
I guess it kind of I don't know something different maybe that we kind of talked about in the beginning. If you
Mhm.
have anything,
Something that I really like about the movie, Matthew Lillard. I think that guy. I think this is the performance of his career.
good choice.
I think that dude is so talented, and I wish his career would have flourished a little bit more, because I think he's so good. I think he could have won many Oscars. I think he's great in 13 Ghosts. I think he's great as
mm,
Shaggy. I think he's so believable, and he really embodies the character that he's playing. And I think this movie is really elevated and would not be the same without Matthew Lillard. And he's my favorite character in the movie. And I love that originally he audition for the role of Billy, and obviously that went to Skeet. But Wes loved Matt so much that he gave him the part of Stu, which was a very underwritten character. He was just kind of like Billy's sidekick, and then what Matthew Lillard brought to Stu Macher is phenomenal. It's unforgettable. It's iconic. It's so scary, believable, but also fucking hilarious. And I just love Matthew Lillard. I love watching him every time he's on the screen in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. I think you're muted, Mike.
I am. I'm muted.
I thought you were like playing around. I was
Yeah, you're like.
I was into it too. I was like, oh man, I know exactly what I'm saying. Like,
wait, like how, Kevin? Do it again. How are you doing?
No, you saw it.
no, do it again. Oh, Kevin likes
Do it
to
again.
dance. Kevin likes to dance.
I
When he's
can't.
not on screen, I can see him in the studio back
Yeah,
down here
I
when
know.
nobody's in. Kevin
Mike's got
loves to
those good
dance.
intros. I do.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That was so funny.
What about you, Jess? What's one or two things that like really, really stick out for you that you absolutely love about this movie?
I feel like the whole cast is just so hot. I feel like all the memorable quotes they have,
So
it's
hot.
like they all fit into the characters. It just, I can't see any other actors or actresses fitting into the roles that already are developed for everyone that's in this movie. It's just all good energy. And like Kevin was saying earlier, how the movie has a killer opening scene and then just the end, just like the whole flow of the movie. It's like the ending and the beginning. I just love when a horror movie does that, or any movie in general. It just has like a nice flow to a movie. So I don't know. I can't say enough good things about this movie that already haven't been said, but it's just, I don't know. I just love the whole flow of the movie. It just, everything just fits well and is done right.
And to kind of add on a little bit to what you're saying, Jess, about how the cast is so perfect, I want to give some love to Courtney Cox, because I think we kind of take her performance as Gail Weathers for granted, because we always think about Nev Campbell, we think about Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard. Dude, freaking Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers is so perfect. Like, obviously, we all go to Friends, we think of Monica, and she's fantastic in that. But as Gail Weathers, she's just like this independent, badass woman that is like not to be denied, and she just brings so much gravity to that performance. And so I just wanted to shout her out, because she's been such a, I mean, obviously a pivotal part, being part of one of the main three cast members. But I just, man, she's just so good in these movies.
Definitely a cast member that is overlooked. So I'm glad you said that, because she deserves her flowers. There were times, obviously, in the movie that her character comes off as annoying, but that's her embodying that role.
She does it so well.
Yeah, that's the way that character was written, and she did it, like you said, Jess, so well. And I'm gonna go 3 for 3 on that. Just the cast. I think it's a perfectly casted movie. We get the best final girl of all time, and that is not up for debate, in my opinion. With
absolutely,
it's Sidney Prescott, the best final girl of all time, and she is so badass. From this movie all the way to the last one that she was in, just always been badass. And then, I mean, just the cast in general, David Arquette is absolutely phenomenal. I know he's obviously a fan favorite for obvious reasons. I love his goofiness. I feel like he gets stabbed in almost every movie, it feels like.
He does.
And gets his ass kicked like in 4 when he gets just fucking manhandled by a
bedpan.
Bedpan, yeah.
Yeah, poor Dewey, man. I love him so much. Second favorite character.
I mean, he's got the wounds. He has got the wounds, especially the walk. Obviously, I mean, that walk. Kev, I'm telling you, man. Oh, so I was gonna save this to the end, but I watched Scream 4 a couple nights ago, and you cannot tell me that there are scenes in these Scream movies where they flirt with the idea of Dewey and Sydney being together. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
Mm.
There's like 2 scenes that really stick out to me. Like I tried to find them on YouTube and send them to you because one in Scream 2 really sticks out. But I was like, when I saw Scream 4, I was like, fuck it, I'm sending this to Kevin. Like, there's no way you can't tell me. They're staring like deep in each other's eyes, and it's like nobody's like they're setting it up. I know what the fuck they're doing. They just never go there. They never go
Yeah.
there. Like in 4, they're sitting on the couch and they're like, I've always cared about you, or something like that, or I'll always be here, and they're just staring at each other. Nobody say anything for like a good 6 seconds, and the dude is like, all right, I think I'm gonna go. Like, gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
I'm like, classic. Like, that's exactly what they flirt with, but obviously they never go there. So.
Yeah. I wonder if they ever really did like flirt with the idea of making Dewey and Sydney a thing. And again, I don't know if I want that because it does feel very
Yeah.
Rachel and Joey from Friends. It's just like they're so likable. Would it be too icky if they got together?
Yeah,
But I
they're more of
do-
like a brother sister
But I
That's
do
what I said. Yeah.
relationship.
I do love how much Dewey looks after Sydney. I love how protective he is. And I guess I could see them going that way with it. But I am glad it's more platonic. But you're right. There are scenes where that chemistry's there and it seems like they're ready to just kind of burst a little bit. Like it is there. It's interesting, especially in 2. They're like talking in the gazebo. There's another scene in 3.
That's the one. That's the one I'm
Yes.
talking about.
There's
The
another scene
gazebo
in 3 when they're talking. It might be when they're in the police department or something, but they get close a couple times. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that notices that because they definitely flirt with it. I think the new one is the one that they don't, and that's because they don't see each other. So that's
Damn.
another problem I
It's
have.
weird.
With
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that is weird. I didn't
like
even think of that.
another problem I have with the new movie Scream 5 that came out was, one, yeah, they never saw each other before he got gutted, and then 2, it's like he got gutted. It's Dewey we're fucking talking about, and then everybody's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know,
It's like
yeah.
they put no emphasis on like this guy dying. That's why I feel
Dude.
like if you are gonna kill him or Gail or any of the 3, why not save it to the end and then also let them die by like saving somebody else? Because I think you said it, Kevin. That is a total Dewey way of going out, like being sent out by saving either Gail or Sydney. Probably Gail, I think, would have hit really, really good with the situation that they were in. But you do it in like the middle act towards the end, kind of, and it's just like, oh, you cry in the hospital for 5 minutes and then you move on. Like, oh,
Yeah, and it's so sloppy. They breeze right over it. They go to Stu's house, and then Gail's like,
that shit pisses me off.
Gail's
It
like,
makes my blood boil.
mine too. Gail's like, Sydney for Dewey, and then they do their thing. They kill Richie and Amber, and then they're like, well, what book are you gonna write next? And like that's it. That's Scream 5. Like Dewey's dead. One of the biggest characters ever. Whatever.
I was even crying in the theaters. I had like tears. I was like in shock after all that happened, and we just get a few seconds of
Yes.
just like, oh.
So
I
again,
wanted to.
as a movie maker, they got the reaction out of you, Jess, and they would have got the reaction out of me and Kevin, but like, it just would have hit so differently if he just died from not being a dumbass. It's like they just shit on him. Like, you know what I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like he's been through this so many times. For him to go back in and take his eyes off a ghost, that's just not Dewey, no matter how clumsy he is. And that's just a hell of a way to go out. And again, we can talk about this all night because it really pisses me off.
That pisses me. It does, man. Yeah, and I like how they wrote Dewey to be more, I guess, in pain, kind of, in Scream 5, like with the whole divorce. Which did that happen at the end of Scream 4, or did they just like imply it at the beginning of 5? Like they're separated. She's in New York.
No, they were together. They were together.
Yeah, because didn't he like put a ring in a fucking book or something? Or is that Scream 3?
Scream 3, yeah.
Okay. Either way.
Also, such an iconic scene behind you, Kevin. The first time that Ghostface makes this call to Sidney Prescott, and the first time they come face to face. That is a hell of a scene too.
It's badass. Mm-hmm.
So super badass. But I caught this not too long ago. She says, "Let me make sure I'm saying this right and like hearing it right. She thinks that's Randy, and she calls Randy's voice sexy, right? That's what she
Yeah.
does.
She
Okay.
does. I like what you're doing with your voice, Randy. Sexy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard that. I've heard it 1,000 times, but I just wanted to make sure I heard. Man, if Randy knew that, he would have died in happiness.
Oh my God, you'd have passed out.
My man would have been happy.
I never
hell.
thought about that. That would have made his life.
What's funny though is when I was watching Screen 3 the other day, I talked about Randy popping up on the screen. I was like, man, I miss that guy. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch Malibu's Most Wanted.
Oh shit, I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? Oh
no,
my god.
He's Jamie Kennedy's a fucking fool, man.
He is.
He's crazy. I thought he's coming up here to do a comedy show, and I was gonna buy tickets, and
Hell yeah.
they're sold out.
Oh,
I
bummer,
waited
but
way
that's
too
good
long.
that they're sold out. Yeah.
For who? Not me. Not me.
Sorry, man.
Okay. So this is gonna be a hard one. If
Mm-hmm.
you have any dislikes from the movie, I went to Jess first last time, so I'll go to you, Kev. What are your dislikes,
Man.
if any, in this movie? And they don't even have to be like a strong hatred or something that was just bad for you, but I don't know.
I would say
kind of irked you a little bit.
I would say it's not so much of a dislike as it is a little, I don't know if it's confusing. It's the shots of Ghostface during the daytime, like whenever Tatum and Nev or Tatum and Sydney are on the porch talking, and then Ghostface,
Or in
like
the
they
fucking
do
grocery
they,
store.
they do that zoom and Ghostface is lurking in the woods, and then he's at the grocery
Yeah.
store. I know why they
In
did
the
it.
fucking grocery store, though.
Yeah,
Come
I know.
on.
I know why they did it, to kind of keep the tension there that Ghostface is lurking, but it just felt not as sharp as the rest of the movie writing wise, and so that's like the only kind of criticism I have for it. But that's it, man. This movie.
I'm just saying though, if
And-
Ghostface is walking down the macaroni and cheese aisle, somebody's getting a call. Like he's just not walking around
Yeah.
the grocery store.
Exactly.
But what I was gonna say is I feel like that leaves like a mystery to who Ghostface can be, like day or night. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with you, Kevin.
Well, I don't care because I still don't like it.
Oh, I love this.
Hold on, I have to fix my booster seat. Okay.
Child.
Jess is on a booster seat, everybody.
Yeah.
Can we take a second to appreciate Jess's hat that she's wearing? Watch more horror movies. Like that has to be something that everybody takes into consideration. Like it is a must. It is a must.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told her to wear that hat.
No, you did not.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking to Mike, Jess.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Mike, you got any dislikes?
I don't think so, man. Like again, if I'm thinking of a corny scene, it would be the grocery store scene. I don't have a problem with the whole woods scene, him being in the woods. But the grocery store one is kind of corny to me because like that's just would not happen. But again, I guess if anything, suspend your disbelief in some sense. But again, that's kind of what the movie goes for in some ways. So I don't know. I don't really have a problem with this movie, man. Me and Sean are doing this on his podcast tomorrow night, and I think I sent my scores in today, and it's a damn near perfect score. I don't have too many gripes out of this movie, man. Like I like nobody's usually like when it's a near perfect movie, I have a problem with one cast member that just doesn't hit right with me. That's not the case for this. I really don't have any dislikes with this movie at all. I really don't. I think it's damn near perfect. I really do. Like I think the soundtrack is really good. The music in it is really good. Yeah, like I'm struggling to figure out what I don't like.
What about you, Jess?
I think maybe Tatum comes off a little annoying, but that again, I'm sitting here. That's me like really fishing here.
Yeah.
Like that's me
really having to
fishing
look.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you.
So I don't know if I could really say anything.
So, anyways, I didn't like Sydney's dad.
What?
What did he
I
do?
didn't like her dad. He feels creepy.
Was it the jean jacket?
I think it's the jean. It's the fucking jean jacket.
Yeah.
He creeps me out. Like he's a little too. Like I understand. Like her mom dying and whatnot, but like he's just so creepy in the scenes that we see him. Other than the end, I don't like his character.
Is it how he tries to barge in too much at the
Yeah,
beginning?
yeah, I think that's what it is.
I heard
Yeah.
screaming. Like, what's going on?
And he's like his little eye like this, and I'm just like,
Get out of here. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, there's nothing really like I mean, I love this movie, so yeah, there's no dislikes other than he just like creeps me out.
It's crazy because I thought about this the past day or so, trying to come up with something, and it was a struggle. It really was. Like, I'm not trying to be, any type of way. I'm being honest. I don't have a dislike for this movie. I really don't.
Same,
Again,
man.
I have the soundtrack right here too.
perfect runtime. I love that, by the way. That is awesome. I was listening to the soundtrack the other day on Spotify.
That song by is it Bird Brain, Youth of America?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the name of it? Fuck,
Yeah.
man. I played that song so much as a kid.
Hey, in the beginning where you see Sydney's room and she's got a fucking Creed poster hanging up, I'm like, oh man, I used to love Creed.
I did too, man.
What a time.
Me too.
What a
man.
time. What a time.
Good old days for sure.
Really?
Oh, I love that. I was thinking, like, if Nev goes back to a convention, which I'm sure she will, what would I get signed this time? Because I want to meet her again and not be so nervous. It's probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I hope she comes back. I like to get like a theatrical poster signed. That's kind of been my thing recently. I got my Halloween '78 poster signed by a good bit of people from the cast, and then my Rob Zombie H2 poster getting signed. I know I did get very lucky, and so I think I'd like to get the Scream poster signed too.
I only have Nick Castle on that Halloween poster signed. You can't really see it, but I definitely want to get more on there if possible. Which I need to go quick for obvious reasons. But
yeah, I know.
I don't know. All right, let's talk about our top 3 kills.
Yes.
And we are going to go to Jess on this one. Your top 3 kills from the movie.
Ooh, start at 3.
We're gonna go.
Oh, okay,
3,
coming
3,
in
2, 2, 2. Yeah.
Okay,
Coming in at number. Up now. It's your podcast.
Yeah, coming in at number 3 is Wait. Number 1 would be like the top, like our favorite, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't reveal it. We're just doing 3.
Oh, I just thought I didn't put mine in order. Can you come back to me? Because I gotta think about this.
Yeah, we'll go Kevin. We'll go Kevin, me, and then Jess. So Kevin, you have it number 3. Yeah. It's all good.
It's okay. I'm prepared, Mike. So number 3. This was tough, man. There's so many good kills in this movie, but number 3 for me is going to be my boy Stu Macher. I love how like just fucked up he is at the end, and then he's got one more scare, one more attack, and he goes after Sydney, flips over the couch, tells her he's had a crush on her, he's always had a thing for her, and she's just like, "Fuck you in your dreams," and she slams the big like tube TV on his face while Jamie Lee Curtis is holding a knife out.
Yeah.
It's so sick, and it just crushes his head and electrocutes him.
I've always had a thing for you, Sid.
In your dreams, boom, great kill.
Number 3 for me, I have to echo that is Stu.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he goes out the worst between him and Billy. In my opinion, that's one hell of a way to die. He is dead. He better be fucking dead.
I hope he's dead.
I know there's a lot of rumors out there, but yeah, I have to go with Stu for obvious reasons and everything that you said. So Stu Macher coming in at number 3 with the TV straight to the head.
Okay, so mine are tied, but I think I'm gonna place Stu as number 3. I love how it just leaves a mystery to what can happen on in the future. I know he's said it before that, TV to the head, he's not alive, but look what they did with Billy. They kind of brought him back somehow, but I don't know. So I would say Stu.
Stu
Real
was in
quick,
the new one.
He was.
Anyways,
I
but yeah.
hated it. Oh,
Nobody
God.
fucking knew, but
I hated it.
I enjoyed it.
You liked Stu being back in the new one?
Oh, I thought you meant Billy.
I was actually I was actually going to ask you, Jess, how did you feel about Billy? Other than him being like obviously the most attractive man in the world, how did you feel about them bringing Billy back to
As a
screen?
baby daddy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's back as a big daddy. It was nice to see him on film, but it was just kind of weird the way that they did it. Um,
As a baby daddy.
yeah, as a baby daddy. Yeah, I mean,
No,
That's
I
fair.
agree
That's
with
fair.
I agree with her as well. Like I personally, if they were gonna do that, I would have liked to have seen him be brought back for one of those scenes, not periodically
yeah,
throughout.
I think,
Personally,
yeah, and I also think if they would have lit him differently, because he was like shown so much. Like I think if they would have kept him in the dark as more of like a
yeah.
ghostly figure, that would have been interesting. But
Because
he's too well lit.
I'll be honest with you. I know they CGI'd his face a little bit.
Hmm.
I'll be honest. I thought it was somebody else at first. I don't know if that's because I'm so used to recently seeing him with a beard now, and
yeah.
obviously
That's what it
when
Gotta
he
is.
put glasses on to be like,
yes,
is that
and then like
you?
when he shaves the beard, obviously his face is aged a bit, so it doesn't look
Textured,
like
yeah,
him. Plus, you throw the CGI on there, and it's like,
Yeah.
too textured, yeah.
because I went with my sister, and she obviously has a crush on him, and she was like, "Is that him?" And I'm like, Nah, that is not him. They definitely just
Everyone's
CGI'd
googling.
somebody in it.
Everyone's googling.
It's like, what the
I'm like,
fuck? Yeah.
oh yeah, that's not him. He definitely said he wasn't in the movie. They definitely just CGI'd somebody in here. That's somebody that looks kind of like they did Dr. Loomis in Kills. That's just
Yeah,
that's
it
not
is like that.
that's
Yeah.
not him. No,
He's a baby daddy.
I was gonna say they did Dr. Loomis a lot better, but they literally had the guy who played Billy Loomis as Billy Loomis. So can you really do much better? I don't
Yeah.
know. All right, Kev, what do you have at number 2?
Um, Number 2, I have Tatum's death. I think that whole garage sequence is. What's up, Mike?
Are you copying me?
I
Oh shit!
know.
I
Same.
mean,
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
just every. I mean, even before her death, I love like the set deck, the production design in the garage. I love the fridge with all the beers and um, how that whole scene is shot, like with the Dutch angles. I love the dialogue. Cut it, Casper. That's rap and their little battle and like what a memorable fucking kill. Going out through the doggy door, getting pulled up, and then like you said, Mike, whenever she gets crushed and electrocuted, Ghostface is like, "Yo, oh shit!"
He's like, oh,
Like,
shit.
oh damn. Just super memorable. I mean, even though Tatum's a little abrasive, she's still super protective
Yeah.
and charismatic, and you feel for her whenever she's trying to get out of there. Great performance as she's like getting lifted up by the garage door. Very memorable kill.
Obviously, a very cold night. For
I
sure.
was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they were looking at us. We weren't looking at them.
no,
Yeah.
facts. Also, I don't know. I like what I like. She's number 2 on my list too. But for all everything that you said, and I really liked when she was throwing the beers at Ghostface too. Like that scene was really, or that moment was really really cool. I don't know. I just liked all of it. I think and what sticks out to me most, yes, obviously the kill. That's what we're talking about, but kind of the dialogue that they discuss, and
Mhm.
kind of like you said, Kev, like all that plays a factor into it. And of course, yeah, I pointed out when we were doing a watch along when she gets killed, Ghostface is like, "Oh shit!" Like as soon as she crushes,
Yeah.
and then he goes back into the party and then ends up back outside somehow. So yeah.
I think it's Billy she's fighting. She puts up a good fight against Billy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And fucking Billy's clumsy as hell, man. I mean, they all are, but I mean,
I don't think
come
it's
on
Billy.
now. You don't think
Because
so?
isn't he upstairs with
No,
Sydney
No,
at that time?
because he comes when everybody's leaving. Remember?
and he does that little facial expression where he looks at Stu and he's like, got the job done. He kind of lifts his eyebrows up before he comes in.
I guess.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, my number 2 is Tatum. The whole garage scene. It's kind of traumatizing. Every time I walk by a garage, I look at it like
Yeah.
I just see like, am I gonna get,
That would
chopped
be
up and hang?
man. Hell of a way to go out. Hell of
That's
a
a way
kill.
to go out.
Hell of a kill. All right, our number 1s, Kevin, you're up.
Well, to nobody's surprise, it's going to be Drew Barrymore. It's going to be Casey Becker. I think that is the most brutal, memorable kill I've ever seen in all of cinema. I think I don't know her name, but in Terrifier 2, that was another really brutal one, but for different reasons, just because it was so overly graphic and hard to
Mm-hmm.
stomach and watch. But this one, like, I think that was such a creative, ballsy choice to have Drew Barrymore, like America's sweetheart. You grew up with her in E.T. and Firestarter and all these movies. And she's just like this really sweet person, this sweet human being. And you just see her get absolutely murdered, gutted
Got
in
it
the
like
first
this.
20 minutes of this movie. I think, God, man, I just love how she has the popcorn. She's about to watch a movie. And I love the dialogue in this scene. It's so calm and subtle and mean and brutal. And it's not over the top. Like, that's my biggest problem with Ghostface. And like the sequels, he gets really corny and over the top and he tries to scare him too much. And it's just, it doesn't work for me. And in this one, it's so confident and calculated and it feels real as fuck. And that's what's so chilling about the opening. And her performance is so believable, man. Mike, I love whenever you talk about whenever she gets outside and she's right there, almost getting ready to be saved by her parents, and she can't speak because she's in so much pain. And you have that the score that's very haunting and cold and sad, and he just finished her off right there on the phone when her parents can hear. That is so fucked up, but
Yeah.
beautiful at the same time, and it's a perfect opening, perfect kill, and that's why it's my number one.
We're like
Number,
podcast over.
yeah. No, I was about to say,
Mic drop.
yeah,
And
that
I
was
thought,
hell of a way. I can't top that, but that is also my number one for all the reasons that you said. Um, again, it was just a hell of a swing by Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven to kill off Drew Barrymore. She was pretty much what in everybody's mind was going to be the main person in this movie.
Hmm.
And then when obviously people went to the theater, they walked out, and that obviously was not the case. So, hell of just scene in general. And then I think it's one of the best shots in horror history, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Um, when she is running and Ghostface is running right behind her, and
Oh,
oh man, yeah, that's so perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna go with obviously Casey Becker, the opening scene, for my favorite kill.
my turn?
No,
Is
it's
it my turn?
Ghostface. No, it's Ghostface, sir.
No, yeah. Same opening scene, Casey Becker, and even just that initial phone call. Um, I feel like everybody has that in their Instagram bio or somewhere in their bio. It's like, what's your favorite scary movie, you know?
mhm.
But that whole kill, the hanging, everything, it's just enough gore, just enough crossing the line. But yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
that's my number. I don't even know what else to say. Again,
yeah.
that's
It's
that's number one.
And
very
shout out to Roger Jackson,
yeah.
because I feel like he's great in all of the movies, but I feel like he's the best in this movie. Like the conversations just feel so
Hmm.
original, so pure. His voice seems a lot softer and calmer, especially in that opening scene, at least.
Yeah,
It's just perfect. So I agree with everything that you
yeah.
said, Jess.
Me too. It's so emotional, and I love that it's patient. It really takes its time to kind of sink its teeth into you. Because I think well, maybe two's a little patient, but I think with three, four, and five, they just rush the opening kills so quickly that you don't really have time to kind of get grounded and settled into that moment to feel the energy of this opening kill and this new ghost face. And I think they just set the bar so damn high with this first one, where it's just very patient, and then you got her boyfriend and the phone calls and like the crescendo of this murder that's about to happen. It's just so well done.
Yeah.
I love it.
Not shocked that that is all three of our favorite kills from the movie, and rightfully so. They're all absolutely phenomenal in their own right, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into our top three moments. Jess, are you ready for this, or do you need
Yes,
another
I'm
break?
ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So we'll go Jess,
Um,
Kev, and then
okay.
myself. What is number three for you? Favorite moment?
Number 3 is gonna be when Billy comes in and he's revealed as one of the killers with the corn syrup and the Carrie reference. I just think that's so like shocking, like a shock value to everyone who's just like in love with the boyfriend. You know, we expect him to be the savior. And I don't know, I just love that the blood, the white tea, you know?
Yeah. And especially that moment, in that moment, we thought that he was not the killer. At least I
Right.
didn't, right?
Yeah.
And he, obviously, like you said, he snapped, hit that carry line, and it was just perfect. Hell of a scene. What
Definitely.
about you, Kev?
Coming at number 3, do I want to go with this one? There's two that are kind of fighting for that number 3 spot. But number 3, I'm gonna go with the video store scene. I just think it's
my God.
I think it's just a really good kind of like second wind and breath of fresh air going into there, because you kind of have this tension all throughout since the opening. It's tense. What's going on? And then you got the school stuff going on. It's very tense. And once you get into the movie rental store, it's so nostalgic seeing all the movies. It's really well lit. It feels like home, like you remember it. You can smell the movies. It just takes you back to a good time. Takes me back to a good time. And I love Randy in this scene. I think it's his best scene. He's so funny. I love
their dialogue.
Yes. Stu and Randy, it is so fucking funny. You think Sydney will go out with me? No, I don't at all.
At all.
Yeah. And then I love Billy, like surprising him and grabbing him, pulling him up close. It gets really tense, and you have that foreshadowing of the finale. And then Billy walks away eating like his candy, going to flirt with some honeys. And then Randy's like, "You're telling me that's not a killer?" It's such a great scene.
I love that, dude. That was that came in at number 4 on my list. But number 3, I gotta go with Randy and his whole rules scene. Let's be honest, it's iconic. It's you know, rules that everybody kind of goes by and kind of leans back to whenever they're trying to figure out the killer. And the rest of the films going forward. It's such an iconic scene, such a good scene. I love the reaction from the people. Obviously, the one that sticks out is "I'll be right back."
Oh. Yeah, man, that scene is it's so iconic, and I love.
And then like you have Randy standing up there with Halloween playing right beside
it's
him, going
great,
over the rules.
dude. It's great. Big no, and they're throwing popcorn. It's really funny.
Yeah,
that's a great scene. Great scene.
All right, Kev, number 2.
Number 2. Let's see. This was tough, man, because 2 and 1 went back and forth.
I think the same. I think it's going to be the same. But
2 and 1 went back and forth. But number 2 is the moment we realize that Billy is, in fact, the killer, where he turns around and you have that perfect musical score that's just like goosebump inducing, and then he has that really sinister smile. We all go a little mad sometimes. You're like, "Oh fuck, it's Billy!" And he shoots Randy, and then Anthony Perkins' Psycho and the corn syrup. And you're just like, "Oh my god!" And then Sydney like can't believe it. She turns around, there's Stu, and you're like, "What's going on with Stu?" And then he reveals that he's another killer, and that has never been done, at least in my recollection. 2 killers has never been done. You're always expecting it to be one.
Yeah.
And so when it's 2 killers, you're just like, that is brilliant. And it's just insane. And then, so my number 2 is like that moment, but it's really the whole finale, because I just love the whole killer reveal. I love how out of the box, like they're harming themselves to make it look like they're victims by stabbing each other. I love Matthew Lillard's like improv with the phone and with
you hit me with the phone, you did.
I'm feeling woozy. It's so well done. That whole finale is circling back to what I said at the beginning. It's my favorite finale of all time and all of cinema. Like once we get to that moment where Billy reveals himself, it's so much fun. It's such a fun ride.
Jess?
Okay, my number 2 is gonna be the fountain scene. You know,
Nice.
they're all sitting around discussing Casey's death, and you just get that eerie feeling of like any of these people here can be the killer. The whole liver alone, and Sydney gets upset about it, and then we have this, I don't know,
Yeah.
just the whole commentary is just so well done, and you kind of get an idea of everyone's personality. So yeah, that's my number 2, the fountain scene.
It's so 90s too. Like it just
It
feels
is.
Yeah.
like
It really
a
is.
beautiful image from the 90s.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really like that one a lot. It's one of the rare occasions they're all together at once, if I'm not mistaken. Because I feel
Yeah.
like throughout the entire movie, they're all kind of split up.
Yeah.
And they're never really together again. So that's that's a really, really good scene. Number 2 for me, I guess I'll kind of go the cop out way with Kevin. And I say cop out way because I originally written down the kitchen scene. But if we're, let's break the rules a little bit. That whole finale scene is gonna have to be it for me. And again, I went back and forth with 2 and 1 pretty heavily. I just think everything about that finale scene is great, from the reveal of Billy and Stu, and it gets very serious in the kitchen when Billy is explaining why he did what he did, like to the point where even Stu was shocked at first, like he was like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? And then the jokes come in with Stu, and all that takes place. Sydney gets in the costume, calls the cops, calls them. Like it's just that whole ending scene is so iconic. So I'm gonna take that ending moment / scene as number 2 on the list.
I love that pick, and I also love, like you said, that moment where Billy is telling Sydney there's no motive, but then he reveals that there is a motive, and that shot of Matthew Lillard's Stu where he's just in complete shock that Billy never told him this. What a great performance by Matthew Lillard! Like, love that shot. Love how there's so many quotable lines in that kitchen scene. Like, movies don't create psychos; movies make psychos more creative. And then there's a bunch by Matthew Lillard. Like, it's just like dynamite left and right in that kitchen. It's incredible.
He kind of carries that comedic relief too, where it's like just that enough pinch of like that comedy. You know what I mean?
It's perfect. It's perfect, and I don't know, it just fits really well together.
Definitely.
Number 1 for you, Kev?
Yeah, number 1 for me is, I was trying to think of something funny, something like very random from the film. It's Casey Becker. It's the opening. That's my favorite moment for a lot of reasons. I already touched on a lot of them, but I just think it set the tone so hard and fired on all cylinders. Has so many levels to that opening. It's unforgettable. It's iconic, and it's what started one of the best, if not the best, horror movie of all time. And so I just love that opening. It's so special, so memorable. It's the best, man.
Same. That's my number 1. Copy paste.
My number 1 too. Copy double paste.
Retweet.
I mean, we can talk about the opening scene all day, but we've talked about it when it came to our number 1 kill. We obviously talked about it as our number 1 moment, and rightfully so. The only one that it felt different was Jess. So Jess, thank you for being a little different with the fountain scene. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
All right, so I want to know now, before we kind of wrap up our rankings and where these films lie. So I'm going to go with Kevin first, then myself, and then Jess last, because I'm most intrigued to hear Jess's list, because I don't know.
Me too. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to go last with her, because I want that build to keep building.
So we could fight.
I mean, drop
Maybe.
the Addy. Drop the Addy.
I brought the knife. We could fight.
Whoa! Getting angry. An angry elf.
You want me to start at number 5?
Yeah. Number 5.
Right.
We'll go number 5.
Number 5 is going to be Scream 5. Are we going to go? I guess I'll just go all the way up. Yeah, man. Can you
Yeah, go
believe
all the
that?
way up.
All the way up?
What a lame pick.
You think so?
No.
Yeah. Scream 5, man.
Wait, I'm gonna write you guys
Um,
down so I can make fun of them. Where's my
okay.
pen?
Well, Scream 5, no surprise. Least favorites. Don't like the cast. Don't like the writing. I think it's very forgetful. I don't think the kills are very unique or memorable. I think the art direction is very boring and forgetful. I think the story is very lazy and cringy. I think this movie does have a big following. I think it definitely found an audience. I'm just not one of them, and so that's why it's dead last. Coming at number 4 is going to be Scream 4. I think this is another one that a lot of people love. It's really a lot of people's number 2. To me, it feels way too adolescent and inferior to the first 3. It doesn't feel as cinematic and engaging and warm, and it doesn't feel like Scream to me. It feels a little too fan fictiony. I actually saw a review to where someone was like, "Why does this movie feel like it was shot for the Disney Channel? Like the way it was shot was very weird." I don't really like the cast. I think the end's kind of funny with Jill kicking her own ass like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. So I enjoy that part. I don't enjoy my boy Dewey get his ass beat by her by a bedpan. I don't
I'm
like
kicking
that.
my own ass.
Do you mind? um, but there are moments in Scream 4 I do like. I think Olivia's kill is really well done. But that might be it actually. I think Judy is a very odd character. I know we love her in The Sandlot as Wendy Peppercorn, but her
Two
performance,
totally different people.
I don't know what she's doing in this movie with her lemon
Wendy
bars
Peppercorn.
and hiding in the shadows. I that was such a weird choice to me. So that's number 4. Number 3 is actually going to be Scream 2. Um, I think Scream 2 is fun. I think it's watchable. The only part I really do love is the cop car scene where they crash and they have to get out through the driver's window. That scene's fucking incredible. So tense. But everything else, I'm not big on the college stuff. Not a big is it Jerry O'Connell? I think that plays
I think so.
her boyfriend. I can't,
Boyfriend.
yeah, not big on him. Um, not big on Mrs. Loomis. Mickey's okay. Um, it's just an okay movie to me. Number 2 is Scream 3, and this one I think is a lot of people's dead last. I think a lot of people think that this is very
Well, fuck them.
corny. Yeah, fuck them. I think a lot of people think it's very corny, and I mean the tone is different. Like it's definitely starting to get a little hokey, a little over the top. And I think I compared it in my review. Like, listen, does the tone of Scream 3 kind of feel like Dewey's ice cream cone in Scream 1996? Yes. But
Hell of a review, by the way.
thank
That
you.
was awesome.
I
I
appreciate that.
love that.
But I just think it's really rewatchable and I think it's endearing. I think the cast is stacked. I think it's really anchored by Nev Campbell's like really like she's just so believable as Sydney. She always brings a really believable performance. So it's anchored by that. So it's not too over the top. But I love Parker Posey in this. I love David Arquette. I think they are side splitting hilarious. I can quote every moment from Parker Posey in this. I don't love the retcon, how they retcon Billy's motive by Roman being the quote unquote director. I don't love that. But I do like Roman. I like the bra at the end. I think it's really fun. And then obviously number 1's the OG.
Hell of a list. Hell of a list. Just do you have a problem with his list at all?
I mean, it's a grumpy old man list, but I mean, I respect it.
Is there one? Is there one that sticks out where you're like,
No,
Mm-mm.
just a grumpy old man list.
Well,
it is.
mine's similar. So, coming in at number 5 is Scream 5. It was a movie that I was just walking in looking really forward to. Hadn't seen Ghostface on the big screen in such a long time, and I walked out pretty disappointed. I didn't connect with the cast very well. I thought Jenna Ortega was pretty great in it for the limited time that I thought she was on screen. The killers and the reveals was just very corny to me. The kill of the woman killer, I forgot her name, but that was kind of corny as well. to where she falls onto the stove and catches fire. Like
Amber.
that's just, Amber, yeah. Really weird. Really weird. I didn't like that too much. It reminded me of the Halloween kill scene where the girl shoots herself with a fucking gun. Very weird.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that movie at all. I would say it's probably the movie on here that I can honestly say that I dislike very much. Coming in at number 4 is Scream 4. This again is a movie that I don't really care about. Do I hate it? I don't know if I can go the hate route because there are some elements in here that I really do like. Like I like Sidney Prescott a lot in here. I like Hayden Panettiere in here as Kirby. The killers, I'm not a big fan of Jill being the killer, but I will say it was probably one of the most surprised reveals from all of the franchise.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. It's just one that I wasn't expecting. So I would say Scream 4. I think I gave it a 2.5 stars on Letterboxd.
I think that's fair.
For anybody out there that loves Scream 4, I apologize, but not really. Coming in at number 3, which is crazy because now I'm thinking of the list. I could have coming in at number 3 is Scream 3. So these last 3 movies are movies that I absolutely love and adore. They're 4+ stars in my opinion. I love the opening scene in here as well. I think it's really good with Cotton dying. I love the look of the new voice changer.
Got the Creed song playing.
Giving me ultra teenage vibes, which I dig very much. I like the ending to this movie, in the mansion where H2O was filmed. I don't know. I just thought it was really, really good. I don't know why this movie gets as much hate as it does. Like, I really don't understand. But whatever. That's whoever's loss. Number 2 is Scream 2. It's actually pretty, I don't want to say like right there with the first one, but I love Scream 2 a lot more than a lot of people do. It just hits really well with me. I like the opening scene. It's different in a movie theater. I thought was pretty cool. It kind of sucks the way that Jada Pinkett Smith went out. I mean, that movie theater was just fucking jumping, which, if I have to be honest, if I ever went to a movie theater and it was like that, I'd be pissed. Like, let me watch the damn movie. I'm here to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you can wear your ghost face mask, but Tatum in the background is super cold, by the way, Kev. I love Scream 2 a lot more than a lot of people. It's definitely a fun watch for me. I do love the college scene. I think I don't know, it's just different, and I like when he kills. God, what the fuck is her name?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. When he throws her off, and then he wipes the knife off, and that song plays.
Dude,
like
I was a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Like I fell in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Neve Campbell around the same time, and so when they killed her, it crushed me, dude. It's like, no.
So I love that scene. And then obviously Scream, the classic, the original, will always be number 1, and rightfully so. So that is my list. Jess, do you have a problem with my list?
Yeah, go ahead, Grumpy.
No, yours is fine. I just don't like Kevin's.
Appreciate you very much for that. Can't say I'm going to say the same about your list, but we'll see.
Okay.
What's on your list? What you got?
Okay, so number 5 is going to be Scream 4.
Ooh, I didn't expect that.
I feel like it has the least like rewatchability to me. I don't like Emma Roberts. She like irks the fuck out of me. I feel like it was an underwhelming Ghostface reveal.
I hate the way she says Trevor too. I didn't call you Trevor. I didn't call you, and I'll prove it to you.
God, Trevor's the worst too. Where he's like, "What's your favorite scary movie? I'll show you." It's so bad.
Yeah,
fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't care for it. I can live without it. I don't find myself being like, oh, I want to put it on and watch it again. It doesn't feel like a Ghostface movie. It just feels like a killer movie. Number 4, I have a Scream 5, Scream 2022. Although I do feel like it was kind of bland, I did appreciate the gore. Nice seeing some of the OG cast there. Billy, of course, and then Dewey going out was kind of a little knife to the heart. Let me number 3. Okay, so number 3 and 2 I go back and forth with, I guess, but depending on my mood. But today I'm gonna say number 2 is gonna be my number 3.
All right.
Yeah, that intro is great. That intro is great. Put it in my pocket. The intro is great. That's another, I feel like, a really good intro throughout the whole franchise. Besides the Casey Becker, watching Stab, just the whole cinematography. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And then number 2 is gonna be Scream 3. It was just fun. I feel like it paid homage to the original Scream. We're going back, bringing up old traumas for the cast, and then of course number 1 is the OG.
Scream 3 gang.
Your list is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm a little upset.
It's cool. It's cool.
You put 3 in front of 2, but I love 3, so I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it too much. I do want to say this though.
It depends on the mood.
No, I agree. They are pretty close for me. I want to say this though. We talked about the best opening scene of all time. I want to talk about the worst opening scene of any movie of all time. The opening of Scream 4. What the fuck?
It's weird, man.
It's the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
And like you would think after they get through the first 3 levels of Scream of Stab, that when we get to the real world, it would be more believable. It gets worse the further along we get.
It does.
With Mindy. Oh God.
I'm getting queasy here. Oh man, thinking about it.
Yeah, that's a bad one. Sorry, Scream 4 fans.
So that's our list. And that's kind of the show, y'all. Hour and 25 minutes. I think we ran pretty well. Coming into the last act on Kevin's movie behind him. So not too bad timing at all. So we're gonna wrap up with any final thoughts. Kevin, do you have any final thoughts that you kind of want to say about Scream, this first movie, anything about Scream 6? The floor is yours, my guy.
Well, I love Scream so much. My favorite franchise. And I guess I kind of want to just leave this here and come back to after I watch Scream 6. I want to guess who I think the killers are going to be. So I think this guy that plays Danny Brackett, I think he's going to be a killer. And I also think this guy, where he at? This guy, Dr. Christopher something, Henry Cerny. I think he's going to be like a little instigator. I think he's going to be like some weird mastermind kind of a thing. I think there's going to be another killer, but I think he's going to be like in charge of leading this cult.
So is this going to be the first movie where we get older killers? Is that what you're saying?
I hope so. I think that would make it more believable because like Scream 4 and Scream 5, you have Ghostface that's usually like at least over 6 feet tall. And then when the killers show up, they're like 5'2", and it's just not believable, especially when Dewey went out by like
What's
Amber.
5'2".
Look, she.
All right, let's be honest.
I can be a killer.
Let's be honest. Like Scream 4.
Let me fix my booster seat for this. Hold on.
Scream 4, Jill, she is not playing Ghostface at all throughout that entire movie until the final act when she kills Sydney when she comes around the corner. You can immediately tell the height difference. Like they did not do good camera work with that. Like I knew exactly who that was. I knew it was a very small person.
She had platform boots on.
Well,
she had to. Well, even Charlie's like a little scrawny, short dude, and he like stabs
punk ass.
He stabs Perkins in the head, and there's man. Get out of here with that crap. Fucking Bruce Willis. But that's my guess.
Hell of a way to die, too, right in the head.
It's written so weird, too. I don't know what the Bruce Willis thing is. I don't know.
Fuck Bruce Willis.
What?
I have no idea where that came from.
But yeah, those are my guesses. I think there's going to be one more killer. I think there's something going on with Tara. I don't know what it is. I think there's something weird going on with her.
I think this is I don't know there's a lot of rumors out there. I'm trying to stay away from them, but the one that I keep there's two that I keep coming back to, or they keep popping up. That one, Stu is going to have a son that appears in this movie.
All these baby daddies.
I know. And then two, that there is a Ghostface cult. And if there's a Ghostface cult, that kind of leads into your theory, Kevin, where you're starting to tread towards the three different killers, which would make sense if there's a cult. So that's very interesting. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with all of like the memorabilia, I guess you can say, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about that?
I personally like it, but again, I can sit here and say I like it, but see the execution of it when I go in and see it and think it's the dumbest shit ever. So I don't know. Surface based, I like it, but there's a lot of surface based stuff that I thought I liked when after seeing the movie that just didn't execute and didn't work. So far I feel okay about it, but we'll see where they go and how they handle it.
About you, Jess?
Yeah. Kind of the same that was Mike was saying. The memorabilia, like I think it's cool to see. Again, it brings up those, nostalgic feelings from all the past Scream movies and just seeing like the Billy's bloody shirt and
they have everything. There's
everything in there.
And they have the perfect amount of Ghostface costumes too.
Yeah.
I counted. It's the perfect amount. And then I'm like one cool thing is that I love the fact that Billy's is the one that's in the case. Like we all know that's the one that's in the case is Billy's outfit. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's cool. Just don't know how they're gonna execute it.
Yeah, that's my issue too.
I agree.
But also,
I was gonna say something else. I can't remember what I was gonna say though.
Put some respect on Neve Campbell, Scream.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely wish
there's
she was
no
in
Scream
this
without
movie.
her.
But also, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't like the way she was brought into Scream 5. Like, I just felt like she didn't have enough screen time. So if the plans were to kind of keep her in that same limited type role, I don't know if I'd be a big fan of that. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm glad she's gone because, come on, it's not the case. That's not the case.
Yeah.
But I don't want her or her character to be belittled in any type of way, whether that is on screen or off screen. And it definitely seems like it was definitely that way off screen. So, you know, kudos to Neve for doing what she had to do. I'm not sitting here completely sold that she won't show up in 7. I think there's an outside chance, but we'll see. If I had to pick a perfect way, like I just want there to be like something like Jess alluded to, gore, like a lot of gore. I want to see that darker toned movie and Ghostface that it seems like we're getting. And 3, getting into details, I would love to have, if it's a cult or if it's just 1 or 2 killers, I would like 1, if not all, to get away. Yeah. I want to leave that ending suspense that we never really got in any of the Scream movies at all. All of them, we got a concluding movie, which I don't know if Scream fans would like that or hate that because it's always been a whodunit movie and we're going to find out at the end. So it would be a hell of a twist to do that and not reveal the killer. And you have to wait till 7. That's what I would like to do. But shout out to Neve Campbell getting naked behind you, Kev. Hell of a scene.
Well, speaking of Neve, real quick, I just wanted to touch on her not being in Scream 6. It is not Scream without Neve Campbell, and I don't care what the marketing team does for Scream 6. I don't care what the new actors are saying. It just feels very rude and a little pretentious, and I wish they were handling it totally different, obviously. But in my opinion, I don't think Scream 5 deserved either Neve Campbell, David Arquette, or Courtney Cox. I think that movie was so poorly written. There was no reason for them to even be in the movie. It was just for them to say that they're in it, bring in fans, and I get the whole requel stuff, which I'm so over with. But I'm with you, Mike. As badly as I want to see her in a Scream movie because she is Scream, I'm okay with her not being in this because I feel like it's honestly embarrassing for me. Like watching these movies, I'm like it almost tarnishes her character a little bit just because of how much I dislike Scream 5. So I'm hopeful with Scream 6, but I've got a lot of red flags. I got a lot of issues going into that movie. And with it being 2 hours, we're going to see how much they cram into it. If it's going to be well written or if it's going to be more meta shit and Easter egg stuff for fans. We'll see.
I outside of the obviously the shrine that we see in the trailer, the directors, they say that they are not leaning heavily into past movies like they did in the last movie. I don't know how true that is. Obviously, that's something obviously the fans will have to judge. I'm sure that'll be different for each individual. But we'll see. They're saying that they're not leaning into it as much, that they're kind of taking this film into their own direction in some type of way. But I'm just interested to see how that's going to be handled because the rules, are you going to break the rules? The rules have always been, it always goes back to somebody to the original. Like that has always, always been like a rule in some type of way that we have gotten. And is this going to be the first movie where that changes? I think if Nev Campbell's not in it, why not? Why not do something different and swing for the fences? Now, I agree with you, Kev. I didn't like the way they handled Nev in the last movie or any of the three, honestly. It was kind of disrespectful. Not as disrespectful as seeing Michael in Halloween Ends and the way he was treated.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't want Nev to come back in a limited role. I just didn't. No matter how much they paid her, she just deserves more, and that character deserves more. If your plan is to move on in a different direction and build with new characters, whether I like these characters or not, you have a time to do that now. Whether it works or not, I don't know. But this is your chance to do that and to make an impact without any of the legacy characters besides Gale. We know Gale's in here, so
yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
What about you, Jess? Any final thoughts?
No, I feel like we could just like go on and on about like who we think the killer is. And that's what I love about Scream. And I appreciate that they keep it on lock of like who is, the ghost face. But other than that, yeah, no. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna try and not watch anything so I don't get any spoilers. I kind of been going into movies kind of blind. And I feel like that's more fun.
It is.
It's way more fun.
I did that with Knock at the Cabin. Like I saw one preview for it, but other than that, I didn't do like any research. I didn't see anything else. I didn't really know too much about it, and I think it kind of worked out in a positive way for me. So same with Barbarian.
Barbarian.
I didn't know much about that. So and that worked out. So so great conversation. Great podcast, great episode. I appreciate both of y'all coming on here. I do want to talk about one. Oh no, go ahead. Did you want to say something else about Scream?
No. I think you're about to bring it up, actually.
Yeah. I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
No, man. I just wanted to be sure that we, because you brought this up, but we were messaging back and forth in the group chat, and you broke the news. Like I didn't even know they were doing this. They are resurrecting the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. It looks like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are in talks to reprise their roles. So I'm just very interested to see what you guys think about this. Are you fans of I Know What You Did Last Summer? Are you here for it? Or is it something you're just kind of like, they're just doing this because of how much success Halloween and Scream had? Or, just kind of curious.
Jess?
Well, anytime I feel they want to bring back a movie and kind of revamp it or start something new, I'm kind of always intrigued, but I feel like I'm always let down. I mean, it's cool and exciting to see, all these movies from the 90s, like kind of reprise their role in being the talked about movie in the horror community. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of, I feel like it's just kind of like a cash grab maybe because it's all these movies are so successful right now, but I'm always kind of let down. So I'm underwhelmed, but I always have hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think I'm more let down than anything. I like 2018 a lot more than Kills and Ends. I liked the remake of It a lot. I thought that was done really,
Mm,
really well. I liked the 2003 remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but really outside of that, most remakes or continuations or reboots or whatever, they just don't really hit well with me. So I kind of fall in the same boat with you, Jess. I don't think I've ever been more nervous for a movie to be remade or whatever you want to call it outside of It. Like you're touching a
mm,
gym, a fucking gym to me. So and that worked out, at least the first one. So
yeah.
I was really happy about that. But as far as I know what you did last summer, I'm a big fan of the first movie. The second movie is like a fun watch. I don't think it's a great movie at all. I just think it's one of those movies that I can have fun with. And I think
Agreed.
Yeah.
there's a third. I think there's a third one, but if there is, I never saw it. I think there is. But I love the first one. I think it has one of the best chase scenes in horror history. I think it's done so well, and it lasts a really long time. So I don't know. I do think it's a cash grab, if I'm being honest. Um, I thought last year for me personally, it was a great year for original horror movies. Um, and I hope we get more of that. Um, but I don't know what to
Mm-hmm.
think, man. I can sit here and tell you all day I'm nervous or I'm not excited, but I'd probably be the first one in the movie theater or whenever it comes out to watch this movie. So I can say that all day, but I'll be there. I'll be there to watch it, especially Jennifer Love Hewitt's involved. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, again, I liked the first one. I thought the second one was okay, fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what about y'all? Did y'all like the first one and the second one or the eighth one? However
First.
many of them? Yeah.
I actually don't like either one, to be honest. Um,
Surprise.
I'm with y'all. I think they are just doing it for a cash grab. I think, strike while the iron's hot. Um, I've also been burned by these requels. Like, I don't like any of the Blumhouse Halloween films. I don't like, obviously, Scream 5, Texas Chainsaw 2022, Blair Witch. I just think they all just don't.
My
They're all. Yeah, I can go on and on,
That Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You want to talk about a hard watch?
man.
I think that was my. I think I gave it a half a star on Letterboxd. It was my worst rated movie last
Yeah.
year.
They all just feel like the same cookie cutter movies. It's like all the producers and writers and directors are all in the same room, and they just like create the same um, shit. Like I just none of it's interesting. None of it's none of it's unique or original, and brings nothing new to the table. It just feels too cash grabby, too fan filmy, too many cooks in the kitchen, too mucky. So I know you did. I know what you did last summer. I almost got a big fan base, but for some reason I just never clicked with that one. And to be honest, I can never really understand that movie. Like at the beginning, they run over some guy, they throw his body in the ocean. Who the fuck is that? Is it the killer? Is it the killer's son? Is it just a stranger? I never can put those pieces together. I always feel so stupid when I watch this movie. I'm like, what is happening? I can never. I just don't know what it is, and so there's that aspect of it, and then I don't know, just it's just not my type of slasher. But I do hope this new one is taken more seriously, and I think they're gonna have to make the fisherman a lot more scarier than just like a fisherman's coat in the hook. I think he needs to be way more scary and
Yeah.
intense. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm kind of at a loss for words. This is probably the last one I thought that they would remake, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
The
I
only
don't know.
way I follow the storyline is because of Scary Movie. Have you guys seen Scary Movie?
Yeah.
You know what I
it's been a while.
mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Some of those movies are funny, by the way, especially the original Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, what a classic! All right, that's gonna wrap up the show. It's been really, really good. I knew this show would run pretty long, which I'm glad it did. It was some great conversation. Before we get out of here, Jess, Kev, where can everybody follow you? What you got going on?
You can follow me at Final Girl Jess on Instagram. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just chilling. Be Jess hunting. Building my little spooky room.
I see that. It's coming
Yeah.
along. Coming along.
Yeah, it's cool.
I need more updates though.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's asked me. I'll post more updates for sure.
Nice.
When I comment on your pictures, I need you to acknowledge that.
Oh, okay. I'll give you thumbs.
I don't care what it is. I'm just fucking with you.
She's so rude, man. She's so rude.
I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kev, what you got going on, man?
Well, got a Skinamarink spoiler in-depth review coming out with Burke, Marie, and myself. So that'll probably be dropping Thursday morning. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of finding my dog, River.
Aww.
And so I'm excited to just chill with him tomorrow, and I'm just very lucky that he found me and I found him, and he's just the best thing that's happened to me in a long time.
Look at you.
I know. I love him so much. And then other than that, I just hope The Outwaters is playing near me on Friday. I just really, really, really want to see that movie. But yeah, you guys can find me. My Instagram is @WatchHorrorFilms. YouTube is Kevin Ketchie. And then my podcast is Night of the Comments on Instagram, as well as Spotify and YouTube.
Love that, man. I'm going to go see Titanic on Friday in the theater.
Oh, man.
Cue the Titanic's music.
I actually like that song, so if you're trying to play it,
yeah. You can clip it in. Clip it in.
Dude, I blasted Celine Dion so much as a kid. I blasted that album. Wanted to be Jack Dawson.
I remember in 2017, after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, we went to a bar downtown and did karaoke, and I sung that song like.
Did you
really intoxicated? Really intoxicated. Like, it was pretty bad.
Oh man, that's amazing.
So many good times, dude. But yeah, everybody, appreciate y'all tuning in to episode 36 of the Take One podcast. For the first episode of the road to Scream 6. Next week, we are dropping Scream 2, obviously. Discount Final Girl Jess will obviously be on the podcast for that one. So, yeah, we're going to roll through all 5 of them and then obviously have the roundtable. So, Kev, Jess, appreciate y'all coming on and appreciate everybody tuning in to episode 36. And I'll see you on the next one.
Go Chiefs.
Ah!